hope you enjoyed the story about the mixed up chameleon. One of my favorite things about chameleons is the way they can change colors to their environment. So if they're sitting on a leaf, they can look green. If they're sitting on a tree branch, they might look brown. So today we're going to take chameleons and line and pattern and put them together. So the first thing we're going to do is get your white piece of paper and you're going to turn it so it's landscape. That means it's longer across and shorter top to bottom. And with my pencil, I'm going to first just make a little hump going over. This is the hump of my chameleon's back. Now the next step is we're going to draw this part very lightly because we're going to change a little bit of it. So we're going to come and make a greater than symbol, or it could be like the end of an arrow. Now, we're going to come up here to the top part of that, and I'm going to round it over like a rainbow arch, drop it down, and curve it up to match his back. And so now, this line right here, we don't need any longer. And maybe you didn't make yours as long as I did. You may not need to erase. Okay. So you now have his back and most of his head. I think I would prefer to round his nose. They do not have a pointy nose. And down at the bottom here, I'm just going to curl that up. So now you have his head and his back. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the tail, and the tail is going to connect here, and the tail is going to come out, and then it's going to start to drop down. But notice as I'm dropping it down, I'm not just doing a straight line down, I'm slowly curving it. And as you do that, you're going to make a spiral. And a spiral is another line that we do and we learn about, because his tail's going to be curled up. So we're going to come up here, and I'm going to bring this straight across. So this is his belly. I bet you didn't know how easy it was to draw a chameleon. So now we're going to give him legs. They do have 4 legs. So for the front and back on the side that's facing up, I'm going to draw my 2 lines there. For the ones on the other side of his body, they'll look like they're behind the body. Okay, so the line for the ones in front, you don't need that belly line because he's connected, and you can see that connection. All right, so for the feet, I've learned kind of a fun way to do the feet. I've learned if I could just come down at an angle like this, round it here, and make a greater than symbol again and connect it. And that gives him his little toes. So again, it's angle, round it, make the greater than symbol, connect. Oops. You know, it almost looks like a bird with a beak, doesn't it? His birdie head. If you think about it that way, it's much easier to draw. Now on this one, I don't have as much room to draw, so because it's being hidden behind the other one. So now you have your chameleon's body. And remember, anytime you can stop the video if you need more time. Okay, we're going to come right here, and they have these really cool eyes. They've got these eyes on both sides of their head, and they're really big, and they can roll them around, and they can look at one thing on one side of their head in a completely different direction on the other side. So after I make the big circle, I'm going to come in here and make another spiral, just like we did with the tail. This time I'm going to put a little dot inside. He's pretty cool looking, huh? Okay, so our next step is we're going to draw some lines because we're going to break him into parts and we're going to add patterns to him. So I'm just going to come and make some sections. Now, you don't want to make a bunch of tiny sections. If you make them too small, you're going to end up having to really come up with some different patterns, a lot of patterns. And so I'm going to tell you not to do that to yourself. Let's see. Let's try here. And I don't know, do I want the leg? I think the legs can be the same. Okay, so now you have your chameleon and he's in sections. On your lesson, you notice I attached some different lines. They're straight and dotted and curvy, and I know you've been learning these from kindergarten and first grade, so this is a repeat. And so there's another page that has some patterns. So here's one I did for mine. You'll notice I did different lines. I did different shapes. Dotted, circles, polka dots, zigzags, horizontal lines, vertical, diagonal, curvy, loop-the-loops. I did swirls. I did triangles. Have fun with it, okay? Just have a great time with it. And that's the end of your lesson for today. But make sure and hang on to it because we will add to our chameleon next week. Bye.